welcome to my channel. I am Kiera, and on this channel I am here to bring y'all along my spiritual journey, also my newest journey with reading tarot and oracle cards. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my tarot and oracle deck collection that I have so far. As I said, I am a beginner on this journey. I'm super excited to have y'all here. If you are happy to be here as well, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Also make sure you are subscribed with the notifications on so you don't miss when I upload videos on this channel. Like I said, in today's video I'm going to be showing y'all my tarot deck and oracle deck collection that I have so far, starting my tarot journey. So far, just a little backstory on starting tarot. So I started practicing with tarot cards probably, I would say, back in like August, September-ish. And I started studying first and just reading like cards for myself. So I do feel like I'm at a place now to start reading for other people. I've been practicing on myself for quite some time. It is now at the end of the year. When you're seeing this video, it is a new year, so happy new year to y'all. I hope y'all are doing well. So I'm actually ready to start reading for other people. And I feel like reading on my channel would be best because number one, I can reach more people in that way, and I feel like it'll give me more practice when reading. I know a lot of people probably want to just read for like maybe one or two people, you know what I'm saying, like that, reading for your closest friends and stuff like that. But me personally, I feel like just recording a video and doing it for the sole purpose of the person that's needing to find the video, finding it in that exact moment that they need it, will be also beneficial, and it also will help me along my reading journey. So these decks are the first decks in my tarot collection. So I'm going to be telling you guys exactly why I chose these decks, which decks I feel like I'm called to mostly out of the ones I do have, and which ones are a little bit more challenging to read as far as the meanings and the pictures and the imagery behind it. I'll be letting you know exactly how I feel about these decks. All these decks will be listed down below. This is the Moonolgy Oracle deck, and that is what that is looking like. This is by Yasmin Bolin, and the artwork is by Nyx Rowan. But this is what the packaging looks like. This is like one of my favorite decks. I feel like I get called to this deck a little bit more than others. I'm sorry if I keep looking at my view. I'm just trying to make sure I stay in focus and stuff. But in this oracle deck, this comes with a guidebook. So this is what the guidebook looks like. So it has all the cards descriptions. So not only does it tell you exactly what each card means, this Moonolgy Oracle deck is based off zodiac signs. So basically, like just like the moon phases are in certain signs. So you have all 12 signs in the full moon, all 12 signs in the new moon. You have all these different moon phases, and each card has a different meaning, and also it correlates with the different zodiac signs. So I really love that. I am into astrology as well, so this deck was kind of perfect for me because it also interprets like zodiac signs as well, which I really love when decks include zodiac signs, because I feel like it gives you more insight on exactly what either the tarot or the oracle card mean when you can kind of base off of certain zodiac sign. Or if you are familiar with those signs, then it's easier for you to say, okay, if you're talking about if it's saying something about Scorpio, you know that's going to deal with everything about death, rebirth, transformation, and stuff like that. I'm just going to pull one little card from the top just to show you. So this is the waning moon, and it says, what do you need to release? To focus. So these cards are so pretty. I'm going to show y'all a couple more cards just so you can kind of get a general idea. But these are like one of my favorite cards to use, and I think these are the easiest cards to use because it pretty much is self-explanatory. Sometimes I do have to use the booklet, but I feel like I can get off just by trusting my intuition when using these cards. So this is full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. I actually just pulled this card in one of my readings recently. But that is what that card is looking like. As you can see, it's a purple moon with a scorpion in the center, and then it has the phrase at the bottom. This is also meditate and contemplate new moon in Pisces, and that is what that is looking like. As you can see, this is a new moon, so there's like no moon because it's a new moon phase, and then you have like two fishes depicted on there as well, and that is what that one looks like. I'm going to show you one more card just so y'all can get the general idea. So this is the gibbous moon. You are very close to achieving your goal. So that is what that card looks like. Let me try to get to focus. These cards are really pretty, but that is what the Moonolgy Oracle deck is looking like. It's also a book that goes along with these cards. I did not know that until after I purchased the card, so I am going to eventually get that book. I do have some other books that I need to get through first before I try to go and purchase other books, because I feel like if the more books I buy, the less likely I'm going to read the ones that I already have. So I'm trying to get through the books that I bought already. That way I know that I'm going to get through the books that I buy next, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So the next card, the next deck, first of all, I didn't say this, but I am doing Oracle decks first. So the next Oracle deck we're going to be talking about is the Starseed Oracle deck. But first, I want to go ahead and talk about the book is Letters to a Starseed. So I am still, it's so holographic. You can barely see it. Okay, so first I want to talk about this. So this is, I'm not that far into this book. I'm going to show you exactly where I am, if I'm being honest. I'm only on page 54, and the reason being is because I started reading a different book, because I was reading both of them at the same time, but I felt more called to read this book first, so I stopped reading this book. But this is where I am in the book, so I pretty much have this much read. I don't know if y'all can see. So I have this much read so far. It's a pretty decent read, but I'm just trying to get through the other book first. But anywho, this is Letters to a Starseed, and this book goes along with the Starseed Oracle, which looks like this. So this is the Starseed Oracle, and this is by Rebecca Campbell, and the artwork is by Danielle Noel. These cards are so beautiful. These cards are like my favorite cards, and I think these were the cards that I was most called to when I first decided I wanted to start my tarot journey. I know most people go for tarot cards, but my first purchase and my first researching on any cards was actually these cards right here, because I don't know, I was watching Chloe Taylor's one of her pick the card readings. She actually referenced both of these books, like both of, I'm going to show you the next deck in a second, but it was both by Rebecca Campbell, and then she also showed this deck, and when she used these cards, I don't know, I love the artwork and I feel drawn to these cards for some reason, so I really decided to go ahead and get this into my Oracle collection. So again, that is what that is looking like, and it comes up like that. So that is what it looks like when you pull it off, when you take the top off. I don't know what to call this kind of box, but it's really pretty. It also comes with a guidebook. Like I said, each guidebook kind of explains what each card means. So it's a pretty, it's color print. I feel like this is like a matte print, and then it's black and white on the inside of the pages. So that is what that is looking like on the inside. So this is what the back of the cards look like right here. This is what the cards look like. Hold on. Okay. See, these cards are very angelic. They have like super pastel vibes, and it's a lot of energy going on. Really love these cards. The next deck I'm going to be talking about, I'm pretty sure this deck goes with this book, but if not, I apologize. I don't want to say that it do and it don't, but I'm pretty sure it goes with this. But this is Light is the New Black by Rebecca Campbell. So this is the book that I am reading right now currently. I actually just read a couple pages today, or like a chapter or two today of this book. So far where I am in this book is pretty much halfway. I'm literally halfway through this book. It is an easy read, and it's also a good read, especially if you are going through something. Even if you aren't going through anything at this moment, I feel like this will still be a good read. But I am going through some sort of like transformation. I'm kind of like, I feel like I had my transformation already, or my tear down already, and I'm like working my, I'm in a process of building myself back up. So this book is really helping me look at things from a different point of view. Just try to find my soul's calling, which this book talks a lot about finding your calling and stuff like that. So this is a really good read, but we're not here for the book. We are here for the Oracle deck. So this is the Work Your Light Oracle. Cards by Rebecca Campbell. Artwork is also by Danielle Noel, and this is a tuck box. So this is what this is looking like. The guidebook as well, which looks like that, and this is more of a glossy finish instead of the matte finish like the Starseed, and it comes in black and white. So this card is called The Crumbling. What are you clinging onto? This kind of reminds me of the Tower card from tarot cards. It looks like this, and it just kind of reminds me of a tarot card, like of the Tower. Like, what are you hanging on to? that you need to release. Like, why are you hanging on to this moment that is inevitable? Why are you hanging on to this moment that is meant to happen in order to bring you down, to build you back up? That's what I'm getting from this card. But y'all wasn't here for that, but that's pretty much what I got from that card. I've never pulled that card before anyway, but this is Unbound, Releasing Soul Patterns, Contracts, and Past Lives. So this is what that card looks like. These cards, I think these cards are way easier to like depict and like to understand versus the Starseed. The Work Your Like Oracle cards more than the Starseed Oracle cards, because I feel like those are a little bit more complex when it comes to figuring out what it actually means and trusting my intuition without using a book. Of course, I love to use the guidebooks, but I try to use my intuition more because I feel like that's what, you know, that's what people come to you for, because they want your intuition to guide them. I hope that makes sense. Like, they don't want just textbook read readings, you know what I'm saying? So that's what and I'm only reading for myself, but I also feel like I don't want textbook read stuff all the time. I kind of want to just trust what I feel like it means, because in that way I feel like that's when you get the truest meaning of a reading, when you just go with the flow. Alright, so now that we have gone through all the oracle decks that I have in my collection, it is time to get into the tarot decks. I'm super excited because I feel like tarot is a little bit it's not a little bit, tarot is like a little bit more complex when it comes to learning it, because tarot deck is pretty much straightforward. I feel like oracle cards you can pretty much read from your intuition, and I mean, you can do that with tarot, but tarot has a set meaning to certain cards, and sometimes you have to use those set meanings to guide your intuition in a way. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into the first deck that I have in my collection. This is the Modern Witch Tarot deck. So this is one of the first tarot decks that I have, and the reason I purchased this deck is because I read that it is one of the easiest decks to learn. I know a lot of people say when you start your tarot journey, you need to start with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, which I didn't know that until after I bought this deck. Yes, I am going to be purchasing the Rider-Waite-Smith because I want that in my collection, but I have a book that I studied my tarot cards with. I have this book by Stephanie Capone, I think is how you say her name. This is what the book looks like. So this is a guided tarot book, and every card in this book is based off of the pictures, and everything like that is all based off of the Rider-Waite-Smith, so basically like the traditional tarot cards. So I use this book to study. I use the guided tarot book as a guide when learning my tarot cards, and then I use the Modern Witch Tarot deck as like a helping hand. And I noticed that when looking at these cards and compared to the actual cards from the Rider-Waite-Smith, these Modern Witch Tarot cards are not that much different from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and I think that's why it's a little bit easier for me to understand it, because the imagery on these cards, as I'm going to show you in a second, is pretty much the same as the imagery on the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. I know that I need to get that deck eventually, but it's not me not having that deck, it's not going to stop me from learning tarot, because it's pretty much the same concept. Plus I have the book with the pictures on it, so I can still study it that way. Also, in order to help me studying with my tarot cards, I also created a study guide. So I took notes and everything like that. My notes were so scratchy from writing all day and stuff like that, so I decided to type it up, and I made like the major and minor arcana, like just whole study sheets and stuff like that, also with numerology and stuff like that that goes along with tarot cards. So I made myself pretty much like a cheat sheet with tarot, which I use that sometimes when I don't understand exactly what a card means. I'll go back to that, and that just have like pretty much like key phrases and stuff like that, and I use that to help me when trying to understand a card. So let's go ahead and get into this. So this is a I don't know what to call this box. So this is what the box looks like. So it comes in this, and it has the MW for Modern Witch. It has the traditional number of tarot cards, which is the 78 cards, and this one actually comes with an extra card, and this is what that looks like right there. It says, "You are a badass being full of life, love, possibilities. Through this deck, you may find a path to your best self." And then there's an extra card, and this is the Ten of Swords, but instead of Ten of Swords, it says everything is fine. And from reading the guidebook, the reason she chose this card as the extra card is because this was the first card that was designed out of this deck, so that's why that card is in there. Just a little backstory. Guidebook looks like it also has the Ten of Swords card on there as well, and it pretty much has all of the descriptions and all the things like that. This is probably one of my favorite guidebooks because it is a hard copy, and I feel like it's kind of hard to mess this one up. Like all the other soft copy ones, I feel like they'll last as long as you keep them in shape, but this one I feel like hard copy is just, you know, it's superior. Okay, this is what the back of the cards look like. I don't know if I just show that or not, but this is what the back of the cards look like. And I feel like the imagery on these cards are pretty much one and the same with the Rider-Waite-Smith. I feel like because it is modern witch, it's more women depicted in the imagery and not men. So any card that had a male was changed to a female. So when it comes to using these cards in a reading, I feel like these cards are easiest because I studied with these cards. So the imagery is kind of like imprinted into my brain because I studied with these cards from jump. That I have is going to be the Gentle Heart Tarot by Vanessa Samina, and her decks are so beautiful, first of all, which is why I was called to them, because I love the imagery, I love the artwork, I love her energy in general. I watch her readings all the time, and this is what her tarot box looks like. It has the rose gold foiling on it. It has the magnetic box, and that's what that looks like. So this is what the inside of the box looks like. So this is her guidebook to the Gentle Heart Tarot. As you can see, there is that rose gold foil, and then also there's gilded edges on the booklet as well, which I think is really, really pretty. And pretty much like any standard guidebook, it pretty much tells you what her interpretations or her meaning of the cards are. I find this guidebook super helpful, especially when reading from a different tarot perspective, because she gives you like more insight on what she felt like the cards mean, and you can also use her interpretations. You can use the traditional meanings of the cards. You can also use your intuition of the cards. So I feel like that's great when you use cards where it's not just straightforward and set in one meaning. They're like one of my favorite cards. I try to use these the most, but I will say these are a little bit harder than the Modern Witch Tarot, so I try to use those a little bit more. But I try to practice with these more because I really love these cards and I really want these in my readings. So I try to practice with these a little bit more. So this is what the front of the cards look like right here. This is super pretty. And then it has the rose gold foiling, the rose gold there. These are so freaking pretty. Okay, so we're just gonna pull a random card just to kind of give y'all an idea of what the imagery looks like on these cards. So this is the Five of Cups. So that is the Five of Cups. This is the Chariot. The Tower. These cards, the feel of them is also amazing. I like the way they sound, number one, when I shuffle them. Okay, so this is the Knight of Cups. The imagery on these are pretty much like straightforward, I feel like, but it's also hard for me to read. Like I said, when reading the Modern Witch, I studied with those cards, but these, sometimes I'll look at a card, and also some of her cards, so like pentacles or diamonds in this deck, and then you also have like wands or crystals, so you have to like pay attention to that. I was learned based off of cups, wands, swords, and pentacles. So when they're switched up to crystals or even diamonds, it kind of confused me because I'm like, what is that? Like, what does that even mean? So I have to get used to reading from a different like with a different word. Once I get that down, I feel like it'll be a little bit easier for me to read these cards. But again, this is what the Gentle Heart Tarot looks like. Last but definitely not the least of the cards, because this is probably my favorite deck in the entire collection. I don't know why, it is the hardest deck to read, but it's indeed my favorite. Okay, so this is the Pastel Journey by Vanessa Samina. So this is what the cards are looking like. I mean, the deck is looking like right there. This is what the back of the deck looks like, and it is a magnetic box as well, so it opens up like that. This is beautiful. These cards, the deck, everything about this deck is just gorgeous. Okay, guidebook looks like right here. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is the guidebook. It is a matte finish on the guidebook as well. I don't know if I gave details on each guidebook, but I do apologize if I didn't. So this is not just standard black and white. So in this guidebook, she actually used a little bit of color, and also in her Gentle Heart Tarot, she also used color in that guidebook as well. To these beautiful cards. These cards are so freaking cute. Like, oh my gosh. So this is what the tarot cards look like. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. These cards are so beautiful. So it also has the holographic gilded edges. Oh my gosh, y'all, look at this. That is so freaking beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the Ace of Cups. This is so beautiful. I just kind of want to go through every card just to like show y'all like how beautiful these cards are, but we don't have time for that today. If y'all want me to do that, I will. Just let me know down in the comments, and I'll go through every card on each deck, probably in an individual video, and I'll let y'all see it before you buy it type of thing. If you want me to do that type of video, please let me know down in the comments. So this is the King of Pentacles. Beautiful. This is the Knight of Pentacles. See, I barely use this deck because it's really hard for me to understand the meaning of these cards when just looking at them. Like, I feel like I need to know what a tarot card means just by hearing the name of the card versus the imagery, because these cards are a bit different. But I needed to have them in my tarot collection, so that's why I got it. This is the Hanged Man. Okay, you gotta check that card looks like. So this is the Three of Swords. Super pretty. I'm gonna show y'all maybe one more card. Let me try to find a card that I love. The Wheel of Fortune. And it's super pretty. Look at this card. This is so beautiful. Alright, so that is what the Pastel Journey is looking like. I'm super excited because I pretty much chose decks that I felt called to the most. Like, of course, I've seen like pretty decks and stuff online, but it wasn't just like, oh, I need to have that, I need to read that, like, you know, so I didn't buy it. But like, I feel like when you know when you need to buy a deck and read with that deck, because you'll want to get it for yourself or get it for your readings. Because I've seen tons and tons of decks that are super beautiful, but it's just not aligned with my energy, I guess. That is all I have for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed this video of me showing y'all my tarot collection and my oracle collection. So this is my first video on this channel, if y'all haven't noticed. Just a little backstory, I do have another YouTube channel, Keyerakaye. In that channel, I'm just doing like day-to-day life stuff, makeup and stuff like that. So I decided to branch off and make a new channel that strictly focuses on my spiritual journey and everything that I have going on as far as my learning to read tarot and all this stuff like that. So if you did enjoy this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also leave some comments down below of any future videos y'all want to see from me. Let me know how you felt about this video, if you plan to purchase any of these decks, and I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I will catch y'all in another video.